Well, all right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my brothers and sisters over at YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. Listen, there's an old statement that's been coined a long, long time ago. A brave man dies once, but a coward dies many times. That's in life. You know, the whole world does not think like the influence of the Greco-Roman European society that we all find ourselves in. As a matter of fact, the laws of this country pretty much come from England, which pretty much comes from the Roman Catholic Church or the Society of Rome, and its thought pattern, because the rest of the world does not think the way that America and European people or countries who have been influenced by European thought does. I mean, another wise man says, he that travels much knows much. And I've traveled a lot all across this world. And I've been in a lot of places all across this world, both in the military profession and the private sector. I've been all over this world. And I've had a chance to see the influence of many cultures. And I can tell you for a fact, it's not just opinion, this is straight up fact. I can tell you for a fact that America's agenda is to make sure that the man is emasculated, make sure that the man is effeminate, and make sure that the man is under the thumbnail of a woman, and while the woman is submitted to what they call the court systems. And it's sad because people in this country they don't realize, and it never enters into their thought, that America is basically a matriarchal society. It's not patriarchal. Now, they will claim and lay claim to an oxymoron, say they have Judeo-Christian values or something like that. They'll put it like that, right? But to say that, that means that the Bible that you're reading, it comes from a Hebraic perspective. It comes from the East. And if you're going to use the Bible as your principle for guide, that means your thought has to be concrete. It can't be abstract the way that Greco-Roman mindsets work and the way that Americans' mindset work and Europeans' mindset. It works in the function of abstract. And they base things off of how they feel and their emotions rather than what's reality. And the reality of it is only in European countries and European influenced countries by their laws like America has been, do you ever see that children, a man's children, can be taken away from him? That doesn't exist outside of Greco-Roman, American, European countries, because they all know that the children belong to the man. So what is America doing? America's constantly after the children, constantly after the children. And I tell you one thing, and that's how that they try to control the man. And they use the woman, just like in the Garden of Eden, how Satan used the woman to control Eve. America's taking a page right out of that book and does the very same things. A man's heart has to be more constituted towards his creator than it does his woman or his children. Because once you understand and comprehend what's really truly happening, then and only then can you gain your strength and your honor and your integrity. But you have to learn how to function while in this world. You have to learn how to function out of this world. You have to learn how to function from a true biblical perspective and get out of these deceptive things called religions and teachers and stuff. Let me give you an example. Okay, so we all know that it was the children of Israel that received the laws, the statutes, the commandments, the rules, and the guidelines of the Most High God. Well, since then, many other cultures has taken that book and they have made many assertions and replaced many words, thereby changing the meaning. And in changing the meaning, you have changed the whole entire culture of the original people. Like, for instance, they call it the church, when really truly a more concrete term would be the congregation of Israel. They have tried to do their best to replace the history of the Israelites by the Christian church. And remember, they can say it all over again and quote scriptures all over again about the Creator is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He doesn't change. But if you watch extremely closely, but you have to have a sober mind, it will change everything. So know this, man. Know this, that this system and this world is after you to control you. And they use your children to control you. Now, what you need to do is learn how to get out from under their jurisdiction. Because as soon as you go out and you start contracting with them, they automatically have you where it seems like they're giving you benefits. And it is some benefits, but you need to weigh it carefully. I'll give an example on that too, and listen to me very closely. We just had a young brother recently passed away, and he had, let me say, I believe 3 children. Okay, 3 children. Now, the wife that he was married to, they had a state marriage license, they had a birth certificate and Social Security card. Okay, and I believe the first child that he had. Notice I don't never use kids because a kid is what I see over here when I look out my backyard right here and I look over in the farmland field and I see a goat. That's what a kid is. A child is not a kid or a goat. Anyway, but see, again, I function on a total different plane, more concretely. So anyway, so his first child, she had a birth certificate and possibly a Social Security card. I don't know that part yet, but watch this. He had 2 other children, 2 male children, little boys, outside of the jurisdiction of the United States of America. And mind you, they were born here on American soil. Okay, so his wife goes down to the Social Security Administration and say, listen, my husband has passed away, blase, blase. So she went to apply for Social Security. Well, guess what? The Social Security Administration or the government, they gave Social Security for her, and they gave Social Security for the first female child that was born that had the paperwork. They did not even recognize the other 2, even though they were born here on American soil. So what's really truly going on? We got to think. We got to start using self-autonomy. There is something that is going on. Now, wait a minute. Because we all know that if a child is born on this soil, they are American citizens. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, just because they had home births, and these are very young children, both of them are under 5. So you mean to tell me that even though you're born on American soil and you're considered American citizen, yet the system cannot recognize you unless you contract with them and you do their paperwork? Then and only then can you get benefits. Because after all, he had 3 children on this soil, but only one of them is recognized by the system. And I guess the other ones are non-entities. I guess they don't get the benefits of being in a, listen to me extremely close here, American citizenship. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is that you're not trying to be an American citizen. You're trying to be a state, a citizens of your state. Because having American citizenship, why it may comes with perks like and benefits such as this woman will receive a monthly check because her husband passed away. You mean to tell me this American soil which we fought for? Some of us, I'm a veteran, you know what I mean? And some of us bled for, and many people have died for that. Even though your children is born here on this soil, they don't get the same benefits if they don't contract with the government. Notice I put that way for a particular reason. So don't tell me that you're free. And don't tell me you're at liberty here in this country. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind. Your freedom and your liberty comes at the end of a barrel, period, point blank. And anytime somebody trespasses that's the reason why the founding fathers wrote the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. But you can better be sure, and you have to start paying attention to not only the things that are not said, but the things that are not done, as well as the things that are done. I gave y'all a lot to think about. And if it's happening like this, under this type of jurisdiction or this type of government, then what's really going on in these institutions out there that are 501c3 that call themselves churches? That in itself is another rabbit hole. You know, I gave you something to stimulate thought. You're probably gonna have to listen to this video more than 2 or 3 times. You may have to slow it down and really truly try to chew and digest what I said, because I just got finished not giving you my opinion. I just got finished stating for you facts. Facts that your father and mother's not going to tell you. The system is definitely not going to tell you. And your church pastors and apostles and whatever they call themselves, they're not going to tell you. Remember, no man can serve 2 masters. There is something really going on, and there's more to it than what meets the eye. Now, with that said, that means all of us who are awakened to the truth, that means we have to totally 100% revamp our mindset. There are going to be family members that's not going to understand you. And watch this, they don't want to understand you. They're going to see your success in serving the Most High Yah. They're going to see your submission and servitude to doing what the Bible says and actually keeping His commandments. And they're going to despise you. Nobody ever despises a liar, a cheat, or someone that steals. As a matter of fact, they have all kind of compassion for them. People who are drug addicts, homosexuals, lesbians, or whatever. Man, they say nothing about it. But man, when you start becoming obedient to that spiritual law and start keeping His commandments, all of a sudden you're hated. We don't need to have this conversation. They're more convicted by obedience to the Bible than they are of you telling the truth about someone's condition that is contrary to what the word says. What is really going on? That needs to be the real true question this day, time, and hour that we're living in, because there's a lot going on. And so being hated is not a bad thing over here. As a matter of fact, it's a benefit for you, because what you have to do is come to the reality that you no longer need these people in your life because they're not a benefit to you. They're not an asset to you, but a liability. And most people, they're not going to accept you unless you live life and do things based on their mindset and their terms. I often tell people over and over again, once you come to the knowledge of the truth, you know what your family members and your friends and your colleagues and all these other believe. You know how they function in life. You know how they move and how they shake. You know their footprint. You know everything there is to know about them because you have been there. But they do not know you, and neither do they comprehend you. So that's why you have to be careful and pay attention. The book says this, that you'll be hated of all men for my name's sake. And once you realize you're hated, hey, think about it. Their hatred of you is your approval of Yah, because He already called it from the very beginning. He called it from the very beginning. And you should be satisfied knowing that you love and support the truth enough that you're willing to lose and forsake everything in order to gain eternal life. Anyway, I hope it says something to stimulate thought. That's a good morning thought here to have this morning. There's a lot of digressions added in here, but hey, go back and listen to this. Pass this video around. Feel free to share it. Like, dislike, makes no difference to me. Either way it goes. But hey, I just gave you the truth and the truth straight way. I hope that some way, somehow, that this put a defibrillator on people's minds who have never even considered what I've said. But think about what I said and meditate on it very carefully, extremely carefully. And then go and check behind what I just said. See if I'm giving you an opinion or am I stating facts. And you're going to be surprised at how asleep and how deceived that you've been.